Entanglement is a big topic, covers a lot of ground. Let's explore some of that here. Stephen Watson wrote an article recently on LinkedIn about entanglement, and in it he described it as a relational concept. That is to say, it kind of refutes our idea of the singular being the primary, and instead interjects the concept of relationships being the primary and the singular being an aspect of it. So this looks at entanglement in a way that relates us to everything around us and our interrelations with the other people who share our reality. And to me that sounds plausible, because entanglement clearly is one of those quantum concepts that's very much part of our lives. And there are lots of those. There are plenty of aspects of quantum relationships, quantum principles, and paradoxes even, that affect our existence and the way in which we relate to the universe. So entanglement has to be one of perhaps the most important. So what does that mean in real terms? Well, far from being a manifestation problem, entanglement, looked at from the relational point of view, sees our interactions and our responses with the world around us as being intrinsically connected. And the things that we do, think, say, and so on, are feeding into a system that is inherently entangled. Now, this means, in day-to-day terms, that the things that we do and the actions that we perform have an interaction or cause and effect principle that goes way beyond our own personal mechanism and integrates into the universal construct in ways that we don't necessarily understand. Remember, we understand very little of what quantum mechanics actually does in the real world. We're only just beginning to scratch the surface of its engagement with us at all. So, taking this into account, we really need to see quantum entanglement as something that happens instantaneously across an entire macrocosm of potentials. In some ways, that gives us freedom. It gives us freedom to be able to explore our interrelational dynamics in ways that we might not have previously considered. And in other ways, it gives us a huge responsibility to take care of those relationships and the way in which we deal with them. Projecting forward, it's quite conceivable that we are going to be entering an era whereby our understanding of the responsibility quotient that extends beyond our singular selves and into the greater scheme of things is going to be much more advanced than it is now. And AI, I expect, is going to enhance that profile, because AI also is going to be subject to the laws of quantum mechanics. The more we realise that and the more we expose of the potentials therein, the more we are going to be able to do with those potentials, and conversely, the more we're going to be affected by them. So taking account of them now and being able to understand their fitment in the universal scheme is important to our own advancement, our personal dynamic, and the way in which we relate to the world around us. So, in summary, I think it's as well to take account of the importance of entanglement as a concept, explore it, make your own mind up about what it means to you, and take forward that information into wider aspects of your own life and existence, in families, companies, and communities, the way we relate to each other. I think it's fair to say that this is going to become an increasingly important factor in our lives. And as we move further and further into an era of advancement and an era of potential danger, we're going to need that information more and more. So stay with me, subscribe, and look forward to seeing you later. Here's to the journey. Take care. Bye.